What is up, Cinders? Welcome back to Chicken Cindy's. Today we're going to get a little experimental with some Amazon budget-friendly stems. My name's Josh. If this is your first time to Chicken Cindy's, welcome. I am still, every now and then, reading comments and stuff over budget stems on Amazon, like not being safe or not being built well and that kind of a thing. So we're gonna kind of put that to the test. I found 3 cheaper stems on Amazon. I got a JG Bike one, I've got a Llnks one, and then Cysky, C-Y-S-K-Y. These are all like $13 or less. We're gonna kind of unbox them as I talk about them. I've actually ran this JG Bike one before and never had any issues with it. But I would probably say, I don't know, we'll compare them all here in just a second after I get them all open. But when I was running mine, I definitely had no issues with it. And, well, they've changed it a little bit. I think mine used to have just a single faceplate, but just a blue JG Bike one. I believe these are all 31.8s. If I recall. Yep, 31.8. This one's 40 millimeter Llnks. This is the Llnks. I would say this was like the OG budget stem. So that's why I wanted to grab this one. Whenever people got budget stems off Amazon, this is basically what they originally got, were these Llnks ones. They've got some different variations of these now, but I saw this one and just kind of wanted to grab this one just because of the fact this was like what everybody used to get, and they've always been like $10, just super, super cheap. Just very, very budget friendly. And then I don't believe I've ever ran one of these Cyskys or Cysky, however you say it. I'm not 100% sure. Well, I'll be darned, actually. That's what it says on it, but it's actually a Llnks as well. So here's the new style. Hopefully you can see that. I'll go a little bit closer. The new style Llnks. So it says 3D forged. So here are our 3 stem candidates. We're just gonna kind of try to be brutal with them, basically. I have no idea how long or short this video will be, but at the end of it, these will either be broken or they will not be. So we're gonna find out what actually happens. I think they look fine. Let's weigh them all. We're gonna weigh them all real quick, and just to kind of see if there is a really big difference in that. First up is JG. 0.31 pounds. 0.31 pounds for the JG. We'll clear that. The Llnks is 0.31 as well. Okay. Pretty consistent so far. This one feels quite a bit lighter. 0.23. So this Llnks is a little bit lighter. All right, so they're all right around 0.23 to 0.31. So they're all pretty close in weight. They all feel pretty good. I mean, like, I wouldn't look at this and hold it and be like, man, this just seems like a super sketchy, not safe stem. I think out of all of these, the JG Bike looks the nicest. Just part-wise and stuff. I would say the JG Bike one just looks the most, I don't know, just complete, like an actual stem. I feel like this Llnks one's kind of weird looking, kind of dorky. I don't know. It's very like octagonish, shapey, like boxy. I don't know. It's just kind of wonky. I've never liked these. Whenever people were actually writing these and this was like your only option on Amazon, I was never a real big fan of these ones. So here is the thought process. I am basically gonna put this in my vise and hit it with a hammer and see if I can break it. All of these would technically have a tube in this to kind of help it stay, you know, not to break. Same thing with this, it would have handlebars. So the only couple places that like I could really think that these would break, like people are saying like they wouldn't trust, would be like straight down the middle almost. Because I mean, if there's a failure here, it'd be the handlebars. If there's a failure here, it would be the steer tube. So my thought process is I'll just put it in the vise and I'll just hit it on the front. And I mean, we're just gonna kind of, I guess, just check and test the durability of each one of these and see what happens after beating on it with a hammer. So let's make some carnage. These are definitely gonna be getting ruined. So I apologize in advance that I am destroying these or causing damage to these mountain bike stems. But I just kind of, you know, I am kind of tired of people dogging on these budget stems. So one of two things is gonna happen. I am either entirely wrong and these will break and they're not nearly as sturdy as I think they are, or it won't break and they'll be like a normal mountain bike stem and hopefully they won't have the bad rep that they have. So, okay, she's clamped pretty good. I'm gonna turn down the volume a little bit for this part so it doesn't like break all your ears, so hopefully that'll be okay. But let's hit it a couple times and see what happens. I'm gonna turn it so it has more grip on it as I try to hammer it. Looking okay there. I wanna hit it from the top. And honestly, this will be like its weakest state in my opinion because you don't have the handlebars and actual steer tube in it, like keeping it, you know, like more rigid because it would be feeling that volume. So I was beating this one pretty hard, and I mean you can see the marks I've left. It really doesn't even look deformed at all in my opinion. So I'd say JG bike stem is absolutely fine. Let's do the newer styled wake now. I think these will bend on this one. We'll see. I'll be pretty surprised if they don't because they're quite a bit thinner. That took quite a bit of strength to do that, just that damage of flattening it. I mean, if your handlebars were in there, that's not really gonna happen. Bolts didn't break, anything like that. Hammered it pretty good from the side where like the force would be pushing. Basically in my mind, like this is where it would break. You have your steer tube in there, you have your handlebars out. So like realistically speaking, unless the like faceplate comes off and breaks, which I couldn't get that to come off. And then, you know, like if you're pushing down, I'll give you my thoughts after the next one. So, all right, same situation. This time, older styled, more budget-friendly wake. This was the same situation. The front, I think, might go in a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna break by any means. And I've even left this one a little looser. Like the bolts on those were a little bit more tight. So let's see what we can do to that faceplate. I beat on this one, I feel like, harder and longer than the other two. But I mean, you can see, I mean, I definitely did some damage to the front. But again, I mean, that bolt is maybe, yeah, that one's bent a little bit. But sidewise and stuff, I just don't think they will break like people think they will. Let's check it out. Maybe my thought process over this video is just entirely wrong. But anytime someone is doing a budget build or anytime someone is looking into buying a budget bike part, one of the first things like I always hear is like, oh, I wouldn't trust my face with that part, or make sure you have good dental insurance, or make sure your life insurance is up, that kind of stuff. And I mean, like, I've built quite a few budget bikes up. I've had very nice expensive bikes, I've had very budget bikes. I mean, I've had a little bit of everything, and I mean, I've had a little bit of everything part-wise as well, in the sense of like, titanium frames, aluminum frames. I've had carbon fiber as well. And just when people say stuff like this, I mean, I know it's just me with a vise and a hammer, but I was exerting some pretty good force on this. I don't see where they think these may potentially break. I mean, I can understand, you know, it's a budget part, so you know they're kind of concerned about that. But I just feel like these are fine, you know? This video was really just to kind of point out that like, I'm trying to break these and I just can't. Like with my own like strength. I'm sure I could find better ways with stronger and bigger machinery and stuff to break these, to put them to the point of like failure. But just riding your bicycle, I mean, 99% of us are not doing Red Bull Rampage jumps. I mean, and in my opinion, if you're looking at building a budget bike, like if you're just doing green and some maybe blue trails and stuff, like there's no reason that, like, if you like this blue JG bike stem, it's $13 or $12, like there's no reason not to trust this. I just, not everything's perfect, don't get me wrong, but I mean, just quality-wise and stuff, they seem absolutely fine to me. I have rode many of these budget stems, and they've all been okay. I mean, I've never ran into any catastrophic failures with them. I've seen people have failures with budget handlebars and stuff like that, like the handlebar snapping and things, but like I've personally not seen anything with budget stems. Now, I didn't do like research real quick to see if I could find any that were broken or not. I just kind of wanted my own just unbiased opinion. And I mean, I kind of came into this video with the expectation of I wasn't going to be able to break these. They're just, I mean, they're stems. They're nice. They're nicely built stems. So, kind of a different video. I guess I'll have links to these down in the description if you want to go buy a budget stem. But I hope you enjoyed this. I mean, this was kind of fun beating on these. But yeah, I think they're fine. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you if you disagree with me. That's absolutely fine. But I mean, I think they're safe. I have no issues with them. And if this is what you can afford, I'd say go for it. But thank you everyone for tuning in. And until next time, everybody take care.